y'all. Welcome back to Right at the Wire. Well, as part of our daily stakes play at Saratoga, we're going to be looking at the De La Rose, which will be run on Wednesday's card, and it's a pretty good field, so let's take a look at it. The De La Rose is run on the inner turf for 1 mile, and it's for 4-year-olds and up, fillies and mares, and it's restricted stakes, and it's a pretty good field. It is a Chad Brown Invitational, as they often are at Saratoga, but still, it's a competitive bunch, so let's take a look at them. Number one is White Frost, trained by Bill Mott. This one is very competitive within this field, I think. Excuse me, but the only problem I see is this one tends to be underneath quite a bit. Doesn't quite get over the top for the win. So I think class-wise, I mean, this one's certainly a fit. I'm just not sure this one's got the top end to take this one down. However, I think White Frost is a must-use and probably more likely under. Number two is Evie Jets, and one of the many who will be up near the lead in this race. This one is just came off a career high buyer in the last race in the Perfect Sting, and loves being on the lead, loves the mile distance. Only thing I'm worried about is that this one seems to be developing a Z pattern, meaning runs a great race, then the next one not so hot, then another good race. And this is coming off a career high buyer at 5, so it's not always likely that they're going to duplicate that or exceed it. And I think this one, while being very competitive in this field, is going to have a lot of competition for the front end. And I think that really hampers her chances. I think maybe underneath, but I got a feeling this one's not going to run a premium effort. It is the beginning of a new form cycle. That's the other part of it. So I don't really like this one's chances, particularly with all the other speeds signed on. Number 3 is Eminent Victor, one of the many Chad Browns in this race. You do get Flavian Pratt back aboard, who knows this horse pretty well, and this one's kind of a bridesmaid type of horse. We'll be picking up the pieces running late. The last couple have been, not so great, but a lot of times we see in these races, it's the Chad Brown that you're not thinking about who actually runs the big race. And I could definitely see this scenario being ideal for her because of her late running style, and she's really the only closer in the group, so that adds to the chances. 4-year-old certainly has room to improve and coming in third off the layoff. I think under is still probably more likely, but I think in your exotics, I think you have to use. Number 4 is Haughty. And this one is another Chad Brown. You get a Rod Ortiz aboard, and that kind of says it all as far as the intention here. This one's got a lot of class, has been a solid performer her entire career. And let's not forget last year at Saratoga in the Lake Placid, she ran a monster race. So she obviously likes the track. Problem is she's going to have a lot of competition for the lead. It's not necessary for this one. She can rate, and I think that improves her chances. I think this is one that is not quite as good as the chalk in here, who we're going to get to in a second. But I think this one's coming into the race in good shape, third off the layoff, and should be definitely running late. And then it'll just be a question of whether she's good enough, but underneath for sure. Number 5 is Technical Analysis, and a logical favorite in this spot. Another one who likes to be on the engine, but again, another one who doesn't necessarily need it, but I think it would be preferred. So, going to be in a little bit of a battle with Evie Jets, and but you can't argue with this one's class. Just as always in the money. I think what do we have? 11 out of 13 times, first or second. So this one knows how to win. Is 3 out of 4 over the track, and then another second. So really hard to knock. Coming in second off the layoff. Did lose to Evie Jets last time, but again, I don't think that one's coming into this race in the best of form. So I think Evie Jets is Technical Analysis rather, is a logical win candidate. Number 6 is Regal Realm, and Jonathan Thomas. Boy, he's a great trainer, but he just isn't firing lately, and I don't know what's going on. But this is an awful tough spot to get off the schneid and get a win. Augustin Stables, first class outfit. You get Florent Giroux aboard, so I would expect a fairly aggressive ride, just like the last one at Canterbury. But you also have to note that this is a fairly big step up in class given the size of this field. The last couple efforts for Regal Realm have been solid. She will be rating. I think that'll be a very good position to be in. Not sure she's good enough. Kind of think she's a cut below, but I think an underneath finish is definitely possible in the exotics. Runaway Rumor is this one. It really disappointed last time in her last race. It seems to be more comfortable and more suited for state bred type of races. Has done very well in them, and I think this is a fairly big step up in class. You go back to the last couple of graded stakes efforts, even though this isn't a graded stakes, it kind of feels like one. Uh, you'll note when she stepped up in class, the results haven't been too good. So I just kind of have this feeling that this one is just outclassed in this field more than anything else. And then, of course, we do have for the main track only, we've got a couple. Wesley Ward trying to root is, you don't see that too often. Not really his wheelhouse. I have a feeling a lot of times these turf races, when they move them to the main track, they'll run it at 7 furlongs. And if so, Chi-Town Lady is definitely one you want to think about as a win candidate for sure. It's a distance that she's comfortable with, will be running late. Some of these others might not be so hot to get on the dirt, and so there's probably a pace collapse that's possible. And this one would definitely pick up the pieces. If it goes to dirt, it's an obvious use. Number 9 is Movie Moxie. Linda Rice and Jose Ortiz. What more do you need to know? They're red hot. Linda Rice loves to put these horses main track only at Saratoga because she knows so many of them come off the turf and they're easy wins. This would be one of those type of situations. This is a logical win candidate. If it comes off the turf, you absolutely have to use. And then Sunset Louise, I would think this one might scratch because she just ran about 2 weeks ago, and maybe not, but she's going to get on the engine. There's going to be a lot of competition for that. It all depends on who stays in the race. Ran a really nice race last time and just drew off against. It was another instance of a race coming off the turf at Saratoga, so it's a similar type of scenario. However, let's note there were only 3 horses in the race, so it was pretty much cake. Top end wise, not sure this one has it to beat some of the others in this field. And at 3-1, I assume that if it does come off the dirt, you'll get a fairly short price. Not sure I want to go there with Sunset Louise if it moves to the dirt. So here's what our top 5 looks like for the De La Rose. Number 1, we're going to go with technical analysis. I think she has the class, particularly at Saratoga. The back class is a horse for the course. Really hard to knock. Going to get a little competition on the front end. It could open things up for somebody else, but I think she is definitely the one to be coming in the race in just the perfect situation. Number 2 is Haughty. This one I think is a worthy contender. Would probably need a little bit of help to get up over the top, but certainly fits in this field. And coming off the pace, I think may have a bit of an edge over some of the ones who absolutely have to be on the lead. Number 3 is White Frost. The only knock, really, more than anything else, this one just always seems to be the bridesmaid, always seems to be underneath. Probably going to be the same thing here, but one you can definitely use in the exotics for sure. Number 4 is Eminent Victor. The form isn't the greatest coming in, but when you have these multiple Chad Brown entrants, a lot of times it's the one that you don't expect that ends up running a big race. And this one will definitely have pace to run to, and with her late running style can definitely pick up the pieces. Got a puncher's chance at taking it down if things get really hot on the front end, but I think underneath is probably more likely. And then number 5, we'll go with Regal Realm. The horse is in really good form right now. I'm not sure she has the class to measure up and take this field down, but I think she's in really good form. Will be sitting off the pace, just off of it, and will have a chance if she's good enough. Not sure that that's the case. So that's the top 5 for the De La Rose. It's a pretty good field. It is another Chad Brown Invitational, but it's still great to see good horses run on turf, so I think it'll be a really competitive race. We continue with our daily stakes postings. Every day that Saratoga has a stakes race, we will have one of these, so you can look forward to that, and certainly hope our analysis helps you with your wagering. And as always, we'll wish you the best of luck. If you like content like this, you can go on over to our website at runatthewire.com. We've got daily selections. We've got full card analysis on the weekends, as well as 2-year-old analysis for the maidens. So a lot of content available to you. Go on over there and take a look. If you do like what you see here, please like and subscribe. It helps to keep us going, and we really appreciate those of you who come by. Love the way this community continues to grow. Been hearing some great comments lately, particularly about our Jim Dandy posting. And if you haven't seen it, I would encourage you to go back and take a look at that. I think it'd be really informative and certainly stirs the pot a little bit. We have multiple opinions whenever you have a foul or controversial race. There's a lot of people have different viewpoints on it. So go on over there and take a look at that. I think you'll like what you see. So that does it for today, and we'll be talking to you soon. And until then, be well.